In the waters of Japan, there is a fish called Hata a grouper.
It is not a fish that performs. It doesn't flash or rush or insist.
Most of the time, it simply stays close to rock and shadow, as if the ocean itself is asking for silence.
You can pass a place like this and never know it was there.
The water looks empty,
The rocks look still.
and then, if you slow down, you notice a shape that was already watching you.
Hata is not dramatic.
It is quiet and heavy and patient. It lives where the bottom matters more than the surface, not in open water, but near structure.
In that stillness, it saves energy. In that stillness, it survives. And somehow, that calm becomes part of what people value. There are fish you see everywhere, and fish you meet only occasionally.
Hata belongs to the second kind, not rare like a myth, just not constant, not guaranteed.
It takes time to grow. It takes time to be caught.
And time in Japan often becomes part of the taste.
Before the market wakes fully, there is a different atmosphere.
Not a crowd, not a performance, just preparation. Boxes open, eyes shifts.
A label is checked. A hand rests for a moment on the fish, as if confirming something you can't put into words. Here, Hata is no longer only a presence in the sea. It is becoming a choice.
In a kitchen, the pace is calm, a board is cleaned.
A towel is folded.
The chef looks at the fish without speaking, not judging, not rushing, just reading. Weight,
Firmness.
moisture.
The kind of information that never appears on a menu, but decides everything.
Then the fish changes quietly, not as a spectacle.
But as a sequence of careful decisions.
What was whole becomes portion. What was hidden becomes visible.
Nothing messy, nothing loud,
Only the sound of the knife.
and the small movements of hands that know what they're doing.
This is where effort exists, not as emotion, but as control. On the table, Hata becomes sashimi.
Clear, pale, almost transparent.
No heavy decoration, no loud color.
Just enough garnish to frame it, and enough space to let it breathe.
This is one of the strange comforts of Japanese food. The confidence to leave things unclaimed,
To say, this is enough.
and to mean it. And then, the quiet surprise.
Hata is not only sashimi, it can be grilled, and the skin can turn fragrant. It can be warmed in a clear soup.
Where the flavor doesn't shout, but stays. It can be simmered slowly, until the texture softens and the broth carries the depth.
Different directions,
Different temperatures,
different endings.
none of them competing. Just waiting, like the fish did in the sea. After the meal, the room becomes still again.
A plate remains with a small trace, a cup cools, chopsticks rest.
Nothing dramatic happened, and yet time moved, carefully, from ocean to market to kitchen to table. That is what Hata becomes. Not a story that demands attention,
But a quiet line you can follow.
all the way to the end of the day.